Thanks for joining us. I'm Megan Roberts. We begin tonight in Nunavut, where an 18-year-old Iqaluit woman is facing multiple charges after several hit-and-run incidents last Friday. Iqaluit RCMP say they received a report on July 25th that a vehicle had been stolen. Police found the vehicle and tried to pull it over. They say the driver refused to stop and fled from police. It happened multiple times around the city. Eventually, officers stopped the vehicle and arrested a woman near the Iqaluit baseball diamond. 3 vehicles, including a police cruiser, were damaged. The 18-year-old faces 8 charges, including stealing a motor vehicle, fleeing a police officer, robbery, and assault. She was released and will appear in court on August 21st. Yukoners can count on having air ambulance services for at least the next decade. The territorial government has signed a new 10-year contract with Alcan Air Limited. The airline has been providing air ambulance services in the territory through a previous 4-year contract. The new contract comes with more money. It's valued at almost $160 million. Yukon's Minister of Health and Social Services says needs have increased immensely over the last few years due to an aging and growing population.
This service is not a luxury. Many of you here might have personal experience, either as a patient or as an escort, or as someone who's helping an individual at their absolute most vulnerable time. For many people in rural and remote communities, air ambulance is the only way to access urgent health and hospital care when it is most needed. It is a lifeline that connects people to treatment, to specialists, and critical care, and is often the difference between life and death.
Health and Social Services says Alcan responded to almost 1,500 calls in 2024. It represents an increase in services of more than 50% since 2020. That year, 988 calls were made to access an air ambulance. Services will continue to be offered across the Yukon 24/7. Alcan says it's hoping to add 2 more aircraft with the money. The new contract starts in April 2026. Staying in the Yukon, remediation efforts at the abandoned Clinton Creek asbestos mine near Dawson City have begun 47 years after its closure. Katrin Pilkington has that story.
This is Clinton Creek, situated at the confluence of the Yukon and 40 Mile rivers. It operated from 1967 to 1978. It was owned by the Cassiar Asbestos Corporation and left a legacy of unstable material and contamination. Now, Crown Indigenous Relations and Northern Affairs Canada is managing the remediation effort.
The approach currently is trying to manage the biggest risks at the site, which currently are physical risks.
Those risks include the possibility of a landslide caused by unstable tailings piles and flash flooding at the site. In the early 70s, there was a landslide from a waste rock pile which blocked off the creek and created a man-made lake. That body of water is now a big focus of remediation efforts because if it were to fail, it would release a lot of water all at once, potentially affecting residents living downstream. The plan now is to work on a passageway, allowing water to move through safely instead of getting stuck in the lake. For Trondikwitchin First Nation citizens, another top priority is fish.
Prior to Clinton Creek, the asbestos mine, the stream was able to flow freely from its headwaters down to the 40 Mile River, and it provided habitat for both salmon and grayling, as well as other fish species like slimy sculpins, for example.
Macaulay says the juvenile salmon found in Clinton Creek are some of the largest in the Yukon, and that restoring the original pathway for fish is a step towards Trondikwitchin citizens having the same relationship with the land they once did. Katrin Pilkington, CBC News, Whitehorse.
Some new modular homes have officially arrived in Rankin Inlet, Nunavut, and more are still en route for the Kivalliq region. 20 homes have been shipped as part of a partnership between the Nunavut Housing Corporation and Agnico Eagle Mine. The new houses will bring 10 additional living spaces each to Rankin Inlet and Baker Lake. Construction is expected to begin in the fall. Agnico Eagle's Director of Nunavut Affairs says it's important to be part of projects that build stronger communities.
Mikuigo is always extremely grateful to be working on Inuit lands, especially in Nunavut, and for us to be a good corporate citizen, making sure that we're contributing into our communities, especially for something like housing. It really, like I said, it goes a long way, being able to contribute like that. And we're constantly looking for different ways of being able to help our communities in Nunavut.
The arrival of the new homes comes as the federal government announced its own funding for housing projects in the territory. On Monday, Ottawa said it would give $600,000 to Kilak Innovations in Cambridge Bay. That money is for the design and construction of what the federal government calls a new cost-effective housing model. The project also received a combined $575,000 from the Nunavut Business Credit Corporation and Kitamute Community Futures Incorporated. The premiers of Canada's 3 territories have agreed to create a new territorial trade zone. The zone is meant to strengthen the economy in the north, reduce internal trade barriers, and promote the movement of goods and workers. It comes amid national economic uncertainty as the federal government negotiates a new deal with the United States under the threat of more tariffs. The premiers signed the agreement on July 21st when they were in Ontario for the Council of the Federation meeting. And one of the biggest car makers in the world is sounding the alarm over those U.S. tariffs. Stellantis says U.S. President Donald Trump's global trade war is expected to cost the company about $1.7 billion U.S. in 2025. The parent company of brands like Chrysler and Jeep announced the hit to its projected earnings just 3 days away from Trump's deadline for a trade deal with Canada. Stellantis says it could be forced to make some tough decisions to improve profitability. It has 3 operating plants in Canada, employing almost 9,000 people. Stellantis vehicles that are partly manufactured in Canada fall under the CUSMA trade deal, but they face tariffs of 25% on the portions that are not American-made. Inukshuk 2, described as Canada's largest fishing vessel, got its christening today in Nunavut. That bottle was smashed in celebration, and a ceremony was held at the Frobisher Inn in Iqaluit. The ship will be used to help catch turbot and shrimp. The president of Baffin Fisheries says the vessel will help create economic growth in Nunavut.
So it's much larger in scale. It's a state-of-the-art vessel. It's something to be proud of.
Inukshuk 2 is 80 meters long and capable of carrying 1,300 tons of frozen-at-sea turbot and at least 900 tons of shrimp. The boat is owned by Baffin Fisheries. Canada's federal health minister says the mental health of youth in Nunavut is a major priority. She's touring some of the healthcare facilities in Iqaluit to see the realities of the North firsthand. Marjorie Michel says mental health is a top issue across the country, and youth suicides are of particular concern.
Trauma, poverty, a lot of different issues are like mixed together. And you need to know that Indigenous health is one of my priority, even if I don't have the whole portfolio. But the youth mental health will be one also of my priorities.
Michelle says she's working with the Nunavut government to introduce new programs for youth in smaller communities. In the Northwest Territories, the Gwitcha Gwitchin Band in Sikachik has a new leader. Charlene Blake was voted in as chief on Monday. Blake has been acting as sub-chief for the band and says her priorities include securing housing for members and addressing substance abuse issues in the community.
That's one thing that we really need to focus on for our young people, not just only our young people, but for the whole population in general. We really need to help our people, and my key objectives is to, land wellness and providing our members with services and support in these areas.
Blake is also a member of the Sigachik Hamlets Council after the community voted for its first ever mayor and council earlier this year. She plans to continue working in both roles.
I think for many of our athletes, they grew up and understood right away who they were. I'm tall, long, lean. I'm not a hockey player. I look just like him.
A new immigration law. People who have been trying to get relatives out of Asia and Africa for years now see some real hope.
What kind of a Canada will we have? What is the future like?
Although the NBA currently is flooded with Canadian players, this was not a reality.
This story, it's directly tied to all of those families who made a brave choice to come to this country.
The future is everything. Stories of incredible ingenuity, dedication, and some extraordinary teamwork. This is parenthood.
Take a voyage with me to the vast, remote, most extreme place on Earth.
For many, this will be a once-in-a-lifetime experience.
Where the effects of climate change are intensifying.
The poles are a very rapidly changing place.
And geopolitical cracks threaten peace and stability.
Do you think there's a security concern?
I definitely do.
Experience the historic all-Canadian mission. CBC in Antarctica. Watch free on CBC Gem.
Want to get the most out of CBC News? Use the app or cbcnews.ca for live breaking news on the stories that matter to you. Whether it's local, national, or around the world, turn to CBC News.
It makes sense that they get a larger share, or does it?
Welcome to the Greenbelt.
All of this, just single detached homes.
Yes.
What do we know? I think we can explain.
About that with Andrew Chang.
The city of Yellowknife is considering ending amnesty days at its landfill. Amnesty days allow Yellowknife residents to drop off regular household waste for free. The dump is projected to run an operational deficit of about $1 million this year. City Council says canceling amnesty days is one way to cut down on costs. Councillors who spoke at Monday's Governance and Priorities meeting expressed general support for eliminating amnesty days, but some weren't sold.
Because people really care about it and people consider it a part of our, like the social fabric of our community, and something like amnesty days. Like you can, if you look at the numbers, there's, I think it was 130 some odd people who show up, vehicles who show up just for salvage during Amnesty Day, which is like a fifth or so of the amount of vehicles that come in.
Council was also presented with the option of starting a voucher program, which would waive regular dump fees for households once or twice a year. Yellowknife Mayor Ben Hendrickson said Monday's meeting was just a preliminary discussion and the city welcomes feedback from the public. An Inuit association is donating tens of thousands of dollars to help deal with food insecurity. The Kivaluk Inuit Association, or KIA, has approved more than $50,000 in donation requests, including a request for more than $36,000 to the Society of St. Vincent de Paul's Food Container Project. The organization ships non-perishable food items to communities in the Kivaluk region. KIA is also allocating over $7,000 to a food bank in Arviat and Baker Lake. The manager of communications for KIA says food security across the territory is a growing concern.
Food security is pretty significant just because of the remote location that we live in, but also the prices of everything constantly going up.
The donation announcement follows KIA's executive meeting in Chesterfield Inlet earlier this month. Now, food insecurity and cost of living is a big problem in many northern communities. This winter, people in Norman Wells NWT were outraged when their fuel costs soared. Heating homes suddenly became unaffordable. The town's mayor says it was due to years of disruptions to the town's supply chain, which relies on a winter road and barges in the summer. I sat down with Mayor Frank Pope when we traveled to Norman Wells last week to check in on how the community is doing. Here's our conversation from Friday. So let's just start with an update on the town. How is everyone doing? We know that there was some big cost of living problems in the winter. So coming through all of that, how are people doing now?
People are kind of stabilized. They got over that hump of the high fuel prices. Groceries are still expensive. Gasoline's still expensive. But I think people are a little more comfortable now. I think there's still a lot of worry about Imperial Oil, whether their tenure in the town, how much longer that's going to be, because that could be a big effect on the community. But all in all, I think people have sort of got over the hump of the sort of the bad days, the high cost, especially the heating fuel. That was the one that got people mostly. But then the groceries, the store, and then now we've got barge service this year, and the barge rates are very, very expensive and very high compared to what we were used to in the past. The one positive though was the winter road lasted all winter, which is kind of unusual sometimes. And a lot of kudos, I guess, to NWT government infrastructure. They put money into it, they constructed it in good shape, and they maintained it in good shape. So it was able to carry the loads right through till the end of shipping season. And I think everything came into all the communities other than the school at the Colville Lake. And I'm not sure whether that school is going to come in on a barge this year and be maybe left here for winter road travel. I'm not sure. But that was the one thing that we know in this region that was missed.
So you'd mentioned, the winter road having a really long season all winter. This year, barging is also very weather dependent, and these things are affected by climate change. So how do you imagine Norman Wells continuing to adapt to these new realities we're facing?
Climate change is the biggest problem we got. We've been watching it for 15 years. People in the south are just starting to catch on now, I think. 2019, the 1st of March, during the winter road season, 10 above. That was the end of the winter road season, and a great many people, including the truckers and freight haulers, were stranded south. They couldn't get in here. So that was a bit chaotic, and that's what we're worried about. So that brings me up to my pet project. Build the damn highway as soon as you can. Let's get the environmental assessment finished. I heard positive vibes from our Premier this morning on CBC Radio after his meeting with Carney, that I think the NWT's top project is to get the Mackenzie Valley Highway in to Norman Wells, and I think even eventually to Nunavut. That's what I'm hearing, because that's our future. We can't rely on the river. We can't rely on winter roads, climate change. BC is in drought. They also have dams on the Peace River. So unless we get a good flow every year from the Athabasca system, we're in trouble. People down south are just not catching on to what's going on up here. And I'm hoping that we can, through the town's advocacy programs, we do a lot of interviews down south. We're just being as proactive as you can to try and let Canada know what we're up against here.
You had mentioned some other conversations you were hoping to have about creating a national dialogue for municipalities based on the local state of emergency during the cost of living crisis.
Yeah.
I'm just curious about that project, what you're hoping to talk about and achieve with municipalities across Canada.
It's kind of oddball that a small little community is going to trying to take the lead on this. But what we've noticed over the last couple of years, we've had our state of emergency. Many other municipalities across Canada have states of emergency. A lot of them to do with food and homelessness and that type of thing. So when we declared our emergency, it was for basically cost of living resupply. Then I looked across Canada this summer, the fires. They are emergencies. People losing their homes, people being forced out into other strange areas because there was no place to stay at home. Then I remember the floods in Hay River, Fort Simpson. They are emergencies. So maybe a lot of us, maybe we were a little maybe selfish by saying we are in an emergency situation, but at that time we were. The cost of living, $6, almost $5.50 for a litre of fuel to heat your house. That's an emergency. So what we're going to try and do is meet with the municipal governments, federal, territorial, provincial, and say, let's set up a category of emergencies. What is number one priority? 2, 3, 4, 5. So that then we'll have an idea, as I said, coast to coast to coast, on what emergencies and what support they can get. Because if we have an emergency in Northern Wells, we go to the territorial government. They got no money, so they got to go to the feds. And what we're saying is, let's get a process that we will know in a small community if we're online, if we're in a good position because we think we've got an emergency. So it's rather than have to talk and beg and go on your hands and knees and ask for help, there'll be a process, document the process, legislated if it has to be, on what is an emergency for a small community, a province, or the country.
Yukon conservation officers captured a bear on the Millennium Trail in Whitehorse on Monday afternoon. The young black bear was spotted in a high-traffic area, caught and held overnight. Conservation officers have not shared when or where it'll be released. Officers say a cinnamon-colored black bear is still known to be in the area feeding on berries, and there could be more bears nearby based on reports. Officers say they'll continue to monitor the area. The Millennium Trail is closed on the Riverdale side of the river from the Robert Campbell Bridge to Selkirk Street until further notice. And in British Columbia, a rare grizzly bear attack has left a man with serious injuries. He underwent surgery and is expected to recover. As Georgie Smythe reports, quick action by his wife may have saved him from much worse.
Popular riverside trails are now no-go zones after a frightening grizzly attack near Creston, a town close to the US border in BC's southeast, where husband and wife were e-biking Saturday afternoon along a network of paths in a valley. Locals say the town's mayor.
They came around kind of a blind corner and they were right on those bears. The bears were on that trail, and the attack happened very quickly.
Thankfully, the woman was prepared and fast to react.
She saw a bear run past her, and then she heard her husband yelling, and she came upon the other bear attacking her husband. So she used bear spray on both bears. First, the bear that ran by her, and then secondly, to just help stop the attack.
The man was moved to this hospital where he got surgery for significant injuries. Every year, British Columbians call in grizzly encounters by the hundreds. Numbers fluctuate, but serious attacks are uncommon. In this part of the Kootenays, the grizzly population has grown after conservation efforts. Education, like how to use bear spray, is key, say those working to keep bears and humans apart.
And we want to make sure as we develop and grow that we are aware of how to deal with such situations and are aware of when we go for a cycle or go for a walk, what should we be looking out for and how do we prepare?
This attack brings that home for residents.
Sometimes I don't make sure that I have my bear spray, but I will be now. Yeah, always be aware. You have to be aware. We live in a forest.
When I'm hiking, sometimes I sing out loud or something, but yeah, that'll send any bear running the other way.
Conservation officers say it's likely the couple startled the grizzlies and that the attack was defensive, so the bears will be left alone. Georgie Smythe, CBC News, Vancouver.
It was a confirmation of love using an old and permanent Tlingit method. A couple recently celebrated their marriage anniversary by getting matching ring tattoos, traditional style. The CBC's Marissa Mayer saw the pair tattooed through the Tlingit poke process at this year's Hakustiyi celebration in Carcross, Yukon. Take a look.
Are we ready? I'm gonna start now. I feel like, okay, so these tattoos are really speedy usually. The only thing is, I'm gonna have to go over it after.
So Tegan, what goes through your mind as you're making, or as you're putting on these tattoos?
I don't know. When I think of like when I'm doing like a tattoo or when I'm even getting tattooed, I think a lot of people say it feels very meditative.
Like I take my shoes off. Sorry, I'm just taking my shoes off because I'm sweating.
I would say for this one too, like with the design, we're obviously doing something very contemporary, so it's not like we're doing like a traditional design, but we're giving it meaning and there's like reclamation in that.
My husband's always like, oh, I already have mine, or I already got everything here's me. I'm like, I got mine too. So 10 years ago, we got married on Montana Mountain here, Carcross. And I used to wear a ring before, and then I had like some kind of allergic reaction every time I wore them. So I just quit wearing them. And then he always like, you know, we should get our tattoos together. And I'm like, I don't know. And then a few times we've gone to places and we walk in and then we're like, oh no, we'll just wait. And then, you know, I live and work on my traditional territory. So I am a Carcross Tagish First Nation citizen. And so I just thought, you know, something that's more traditional and cultural to do that.
It's her first tattoo also, so like.
Yep.
And you went for the finger, like that's really impressive.
That's what I heard. It hurts. And it hurts.
Still happy with your decision?
I am. Yeah.
I feel the love. Yeah.
Pain is love.
Hi, this is Nicole, right?
And that is Northbeat for tonight. For news anytime, go to cbc.ca/north. Thank you for watching. I'm Megan Roberts. Have a good night.